What's going on, you guys? I hope this video is finding you guys happy and healthy. Today I just want to give you guys kind of a little life update. I haven't done that in a while, like what's going on with me currently. By the way, if you hear banging and clanging in the background, it's our contractor working on our unit, which I will show you in a few minutes, the progress of our last unit that we're working on in our fourplex. So for those of you who are brand new, we have been living in our fourplex for about 6 months now, and we bought this fourplex in 2019. It was a total dump, total fixer-upper, and we've been renovating it ever since. So we've renovated 3 of the 4 units so far. We're working on the 4th unit now. So our contractor is busy banging away and doing stuff, and that unit is attached to our unit that we're living in. By the way, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I upload 1 to 2 videos a week all about living healthy, and it's been a lot about IVF lately, and I try to do a lot of like informative, educational, nutrition videos, stuff like that, because I find all that really interesting. All right, let's step out to the back porch. All right, so this is the back entryway. These are the stairs leading to the 2 units upstairs. And back here is what we're working on. So this back entryway is not done yet. It needs to be finished. So it's all built and everything. And if you guys remember, very windy today. There was just like janky stairs going to the ground, but this time we built like a landing. And this is our front porch. This is all new too. So the fence guys came yesterday and started building our fence for us. This used to be a chain link fence, and now it is a beautiful cedar fence. So very happy with how it's turning out. And that means that Yuma will have a fenced in yard soon. There we go. Don't mind the mess, but over here is really exciting. These are our kitchen cabinets that are going into the unit we're renovating. Speaking of the last unit we're renovating, I'm going to insert a clip right here of what it's currently looking like.
I never knew what love was until I held you. I never knew the right words until I found you. These eyes are never open until I saw you. My heart's now unfolding, and it was made for you. Every day before you I was holding out. If you want the stars, I can pull them down. Baby, in my arms you'll be safe and sound.
Yeah, so can't wait to get all these kitchen cabinets out of here and into that unit. Should be within the next week to 2 weeks at the most. It's so cold out there. By the way, this is a heated jacket that Josh got for me on Amazon. I'll put the link down below. It is amazing. Oh my gosh. So the heat packs are right here and on your back, and it makes such a difference. There's like different levels. I have it on the lowest level. This is the push button you push to like turn it on, and then you push it again for a higher setting, and you push it again for an even higher setting. And the battery pack is just in the pocket. It's a little battery pack, and it lasts up to 10 hours, which is so cool. Turn this off here, and then you just like push it for a while, and then it turns off. IVF update. So last time I updated you guys was on my 2nd week of IVF. I will link those 2 videos down below, the 1st and 2nd week of IVF and my egg retrieval process. As you guys know, they got 53 eggs from me, which apparently is a ton. I told you guys that they were able to fertilize successfully 32, and then from there I was just waiting to see how many of those turned into embryos. As of about a week and a half ago, I found out that I only have 8 embryos, which I was very surprised at that. I was very thankful for the 8 that I have, but out of 32 fertilized eggs, only got 8 embryos. So then last week, actually last Thursday, so by the time you're watching this video, it'll be like a week of me knowing. A few days ago, I found out that I actually only have 2 normal embryos out of the 8. I am very glad I did the genetic testing because it's an additional $7,000 to $8,000 that was elective, but I would not have known that 6 out of my 8 embryos were abnormal, and they would have just randomly picked an embryo to transfer in me, and it probably would be an abnormal one and I would have miscarried. So I am thankful that I went through the genetic testing. I'm thankful that I know for sure I have 2 normal embryos. Highly recommend that you do the genetic testing if you can afford it, because it will allow you to know which embryos are normal and higher chance of pregnancy. So last week my fertility doctor called me and told me that news, that I only have 2 normal embryos out of the 8. But there were a few embryos she wasn't sure if they were normal or abnormal. They were calling them mosaic, and she didn't know exactly what that meant. So she suggested that I meet with the embryologist, and that's what we did. So we met with the embryologist this past Monday, just so that we can have a better explanation as to why those other embryos were abnormal, why a few of them looked kind of like they could be normal, maybe they're abnormal, and 2 are definitely normal. So kind of an explanation as to what went on with the testing. So yeah, this embryologist, we met with her via Zoom. She was so informative. She went into all the details surrounding like how they genetic test. But the first thing she asked us is if we wanted to know the sex of our 2 normal embryos, because of course they know that information. They did all the genetic testing and the chromosomal mapping of everything. So, but I was like, no, I really am trying to protect my heart. I still don't know, and I don't want to know the sex of my 2 embryos that I have. So basically, without going into too much detail and without it being too confusing, 2 of my embryos are completely abnormal. So one of the 2 has Down syndrome and the other one has Turner syndrome, which you don't hear of Turner syndrome very much. I had to Google it. I was like, oh dang. So the embryologist was saying that you don't see a whole lot of Turner syndrome and Down syndrome because a lot of times those abnormal embryos that are conceived are just miscarried, which I thought that was pretty interesting. So the number 1 cause of miscarriage is an abnormal formation of an embryo, and the body just discards it, which I know miscarriage is so heartbreaking, and I hope I never have to go through it. But sometimes I think it could be a good thing. When I looked up Turner syndrome, I was like, oh, thank God not many kids have to go through that. So then another 2 were abnormal. I guess they were missing a lot of bands on the chromosomal mapping. So they couldn't exactly tell me what exactly were wrong with those embryos, but just that they weren't viable. So then I had an additional 2 that could be normal, they could be abnormal. They couldn't tell if they were normal or abnormal, because what happens is when they test these embryos, they take about 5 cells from the outer lining of the embryo that would eventually turn into the placenta. They can't take cells from the actual embryo itself on the inside because that would kill the embryo. So they genetically test the cells around the embryo that would actually be the placenta, and they take about 5 cells. So of those 5 cells of my 2 embryos, half of those cells were normal, half of them were abnormal. So if they were all normal, they would say, oh, the embryo itself is normal. That's a great indication that the embryo is normal. But because half the cells were normal, half of them were abnormal, they can't tell if the embryo itself is normal or abnormal. So those cells aren't exactly like 100% indication of what's going on in the embryo, but it gives them a good idea. So if I didn't have any embryos, I could risk it and transfer one of those embryos that could be normal into me and see if it takes. So those 2 cells they're calling mosaic. Could be abnormal, could be normal. The thing I thought was really interesting, what the embryologist was saying, is given my age, she's not surprised that I only have 2 embryos. Everything that they tested and saw on my embryos matches up with my age. Because I'm almost 36 and I'm inching towards 40, my risk of having abnormal embryos is pretty high. Basically, without saying it, I should be thankful that I have 2 normal ones. But I just thought it was crazy how many eggs I got, and it only ended up with 2 embryos. But like I said, very thankful for the 2 that I have. And I could have 4 normal ones because I just don't know about the other 2. I have decided to do it all over again, do the stimulation 2 weeks and the egg retrieval process all over again. I really had to do some soul searching because I really don't want to go through the egg retrieval process again. That was really hard, especially mentally. But I have already paid for 2 cycles, and if I don't use the 2nd cycle, I'm out that money. Also, I was thinking, what if the transfer fails and then I only have 1 embryo left and I want more than 1 kid? Like I said, I've already paid for 2 cycles. I might regret not trying again for more embryos. Yeah, so I have made the final decision to do the egg retrieval process all over again. But I was thinking, okay, instead of doing the transfer in January, I'll just do the egg retrieval process instead. But no, of course it's not that simple. They put me on the wait list for February. So February 13th is my tentative start date for the stimulation week and the egg retrieval process. So this whole thing is being dragged out way longer than I wanted it to, but you know, when it comes to big life things, when it comes to big events in life, kind of just have to roll with the punches and go with it. I can't control the fact that I only ended up with 2 embryos. I can't control the fact that my fertility clinic is super busy in their timeline. So many things I can't control. So I just have to roll with the punches. I just have to go with the flow and know in my head that God has a plan. Whatever is meant to be is meant to be. And you know what? Timing always works out how it's supposed to, especially when it comes to big life events. I am wondering though, if you guys want me to film all that again, if you want me to do like a week vlog style video on my IVF process, I could do it again. Then I could see how it compares with the first round. Yeah, so lots of emotions running through my head. I'm pretty disappointed about this whole thing. I didn't expect it to happen like this. Yeah, I just thought, I got so many eggs, I was like, oh, I don't have to do that again. I can just like have all these embryos and just transfer as many as I want. Nope, that's not how it's working out. Yep, so we'll try again. I am gonna use these next couple of months though to really like enjoy the things that I like to enjoy, do my workouts. I'm getting back into shape finally after that whole egg retrieval process, because of course I couldn't do any of my workouts and I did lose a lot of strength during those 3 weeks. So I've been enjoying getting back into my workouts and getting my strength back. I'm gonna enjoy the holidays and traveling and forget about IVF. We have our hands full with our renovations again, so it's all good. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I don't know, for those of you who care, thank you for watching my life updates. For those of you going through hard times, frustrating times, busy times, it's the holidays, hang in there. I always tell you guys, you're not alone. You aren't alone. Everybody goes through their challenges. Everybody goes through their disappointments, big, small, medium, whatever they may be. I'm here for you guys and thank you for your love and support. And I'll just kind of keep you updated with the IVF, but I think everything's gonna be on hold until February. Please let me know in the comments down below what videos you want me to do next. I have a couple in mind that will be fun. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because it does really support my channel. Please stay happy and healthy, happy holidays, and always remember to be kind to yourself.